Hi everybody and welcome to day 4 of Professional Beauty's Virtual Beauty Week. Today we're going to be talking about the really popular brow trend at the moment, that is brow lamination. Talking about it today, we have Beverly and Faye from Lash Perfect. So they are going to be introducing the concept of their highbrow lamination, talking about what the treatment is, who it's ideal for, outlining how it works, and also explaining how you can introduce this service into your business. So I will just hand it over to Faye and Beverly if you're ready, guys.
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready, Faye?
I'm ready. Just going to get the presentation up for us.
Okay.
Brilliant.
So welcome to everyone that's joined us today. And thank you for Professional Beauty to putting this this on. Do we have any videos yet? Right, okay. So we're just going to talk through. Perfect. So hopefully all of those of you that are sitting at home with a cup of coffee are able to see the beginning of this presentation. Today we're going to talk about the newest trend that's in the beauty industry, which is lamination. So we have a brand, Highbrow Lamination, on the back of our highbrow treatment. And it's been quite a long time now since a treatment has taken the beauty industry by storm. Last time I remember this happening was probably 15 years ago when I started Lash Perfect. Lashes and lash extensions were so new, everybody was really excited about them. And it seems that vibe, for the first time in 15 years, that vibe is coming back with a different kind of treatment, which we are absolutely delighted to offer. So we've been busy, haven't we, Faye?
We have indeed.
Should we go to the next slide?
Yeah. So up on the screen, you'll see some eyebrow treatment facts, which you may or may not already know. But on average, British women are spending around £200 per year on brow treatments, which is absolutely amazing. And with the new treatment that Beverly has mentioned for brow lamination, it means that the treatments are ever growing and are actually more popular than ever before. And you can see the beauty industry has contributed 28.4 billion to the UK economy last year. Beverly, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think for all of you out there listening, brow lamination is a treatment that can be added to your normal brow services. And a bit further along, we'll show you some fantastic pictures of how it actually rolls out and how it looks and how the treatment is performed. But as a salon owner, primarily, which for 35 years I'm a proud owner of a beauty salon, I can honestly say that with eyelash extensions and brow treatments, they are the most popular. Everybody wants to have at least groomed brows, even if they don't want the today's trend. And so this highbrow lamination is a service that mobile therapists and salons can offer as an add-on, and it turns a bog standard high brow tint and tidy into a real treatment that has fantastic results and also great profitability for salons. So it's definitely one to engage with, and I think part of today's presentation is to launch our remote learning for all of our treatments, which is Lash Perfect, Classics and Russian, but also brow lamination. So we can let you know a little bit more about that later on. Should we move to the next treatment? Treatment. The next slide, Faye, please. That's it.
Yeah, should be showing for you now.
Yeah, so one of the things that I'm asked all the time is why would I want to have my brows sticking up in the air like today's newest trend? Why would I want that? But the truth is, with brow lamination, it's actually realigning the natural brows to be perfectly groomed. So that doesn't mean that you have to wear them fluffy and bold. They can just smooth down the natural brows so that they look more neater and more groomed. So if you take the picture that you should be looking at, you can see that this beautiful model has got lovely brows to start with, but they are not tamed or realigned. And then after the treatment, we have two pictures. One is where the brows are smoothly groomed, and the other one is where they're brushed up. That look can be achieved just with one treatment. You can either brush them smooth or brush them up. And what I'd like to say is that, you know, there are some sort of alarmist journalists that like to say, oh, I don't want to look like a werewolf, but actually that's just hype, I suppose. The truth is this treatment is available for everybody, and you can just have smooth groomed brow. So let's move on to the video, because I think that will just whet everyone's appetite on the treatment. Okay, so you can see this is the treatment being performed, just realigning the natural brows into a straightened position so the treatment can work well. Putting on tried and tested products that are going to realign the brows but not damage the fine vellus hairs that are sitting around the brow area. So we're just, I'm not sure if you can all see that particularly well. It's just putting the solutions on as a step by step, and then we can see the end result, I think. Okay. Right, okay. So if that video wasn't quite so fluid, then just to talk you through, you stretch and realign the brow hairs. You apply the product to, which is a reductor, which will help to resculpture the natural brows. You then set them into place, and then you finish the treatment off with a QIC tint, which is a quick intense color that grabs the color and keeps onto the hairs, and actually it tints the skin as well, and lasts a lot longer than a conventional tint that's used for brows. I think the next, should we go from the next one now, Faye?
Yeah.
So we can see, there we go. So you can see just finishing off, applying the tint, and then the lovely model at the end looking absolutely stunning. And she was delighted as a model. They obviously have an awful lot of makeup, and they're in studios a lot. And you know, she was absolutely thrilled with them, as have most customers that have this treatment done. So let's go to anything to add on that, Faye?
No, I think you've pretty much covered it all. And the pictures, like you said, are nice and clear, so that you can kind of see how the treatment's done step by step as well.
Okay, so I think we've probably got another promotional video to show.
Yeah, we have. Indeed, I'll just pop that on.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Faye. Let's sort of freeze on this particular photograph. If any of you couldn't see that video, then you can see it afterwards on YouTube. So it's got loads of views. It's a very popular video to promote the treatment, and good one to show your customers as well, so they can sort of engage in the trend. We're just going to show you a few before and afters, because it's all very well looking at things with a model, but actually it's quite nice to see it on real people. So this treatment was done, Faye, can you talk this one through, because this is over the top of microblading?
Yeah, of course. So you can see that the before picture, we've got the microblading outline. And sometimes what can happen is the hairs can be stretched over the microblading. Actually, all it's done here is where the hairs have been realigned, it has made the overall brow look thicker and fuller. And it's stretched the hairs into new positions to make the eye area and the brow area look a little bit more open. So it does really work lovely over the top of previous semi-permanent makeup and microblading. It is important to remember that the treatment would have to be performed once the semi-permanent makeup or microblading is fully healed. So it's sometimes better to have that treatment done first and then have the lamination done afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. So I just think it's really great to see real people, and I'm going to just show you one. The next slide is a customer of mine. As I say, I've been a beauty therapist for 35 years. This is a treatment that is for everyone. This is a dear lady that I've known for many, many years, and every 3 to 6 weeks she presents me with her eyebrows, as in on the left. And there's very little, up until the introduction of highbrow lamination, there's very little that you can do apart from tint the hairs, shape the brows, and then you would have the decision to either pluck out the unruly hairs or to trim them, which gives a blunt end and not very feminine. And so Julie was very kind enough to let me trial this treatment at the very beginning, at the infancy of highbrow lamination. And as you can see, the results are amazing. So those coarse, stubborn eyebrows have been realigned into her natural brow shape, and a touch of tint has just taken away the white hairs. And every beauty therapist, nail technician, lash technician who has customers has got people that have brows like that. So they're the people that this is targeted to, as well as young on-trend people. And as you would have seen in the video as well, it's fantastic for men too. So I think barbershops all over the country, I would say, take this treatment up, because it's got to be a lot better than shaving off people's eyebrows. You can realign them and make them still look lovely without the unruly hairs. I can think of quite a few men that would benefit from that. Can you, Faye?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it just shows how versatile the treatment is. So it is suitable for absolutely everyone, and it's great.
Yeah, definitely. So finally, there's one more I believe we need to look at, which is, I think, just the same as everybody's. Many people have brows exactly like this. I think the point is that at the end of the brow, you can see the hairs are growing downwards, and then after the treatment, they've been realigned out. So yeah, great treatment. What else have we got on the PowerPoint, Faye? Okay, so I think this is very much Faye's baby. She's worked really hard to put this together for you in this awful time of isolation. And over to you, Faye.
Thank you. So yeah, as Beverly was saying, it's a really challenging time to be a beauty therapist or a technician at the moment, because we can't leave to physically do treatments, and we pulled our heads together to think of a way that we could help. And we have been working really hard to bring you remote training courses. It's going to offer exactly the same training that we usually run in our venues, but from the comfort of your own home. So it will simulate a similar feel to today, but you'll be with a trainer on a one-to-one basis for elements of your course. And we're hoping to deliver the training on webinars with you. So a presentation style for your theory, and then going through videos like you've seen, similar to this, but more aimed at a training perspective, in order to sort of help you and get you going before you're able to come and join us in person to go through the training aspects.
Yeah, so what we've decided is, there is a certain portion of our training delivery on our training days that can be done remotely, and that would be the health and safety aspect, going through your kit, familiarising yourself with the products that actually perform the treatment, and then also practicing. Now, practicing without any kind of supervision, we do not endorse. What we are doing is every kit that we send out, I don't know whether you can all see that, will receive tiny mannequin head. Actually, it's a mannequin eye, and also practice lashes and practice lashes, so that we can do remote training. You can practice with brows. That's more difficult, but actually you can practice quite a lot of the realignment without using the chemicals, because the realignment is just using an adhesive to help fix the brows into place. You can definitely do that at home before you then come along to one of our training venues for your actual face-to-face training. So this is not compromising any kind of training that we do at the moment. In fact, it's embellishing it, because you have, first of all, time to digest the theory and the products and a little bit of practice before you meet us, and then you come along with the model and we go through everything and make sure that you're practically on point. And there's going to be follow-on sessions as well for those people that still want help. So it's a remote training as opposed to online, because you're not going to be thrown onto just videos. There will be video content available to you for refreshing your memory on things and just get a little bit more expansion of knowledge. But actually the training is following exactly the same footprint as what we do at the moment, but carving out the theoretical side and stuff that you can do at home before you come along to see us. So it's win-win really, because you can get the bulk of it all done off on your assessment day, and then ready to go and do your customers as soon as this lockdown finishes. So I think we've got a little picture of the highbrow lamination kit there. So that's I think is the professional one. I'm not entirely sure. We had two kits that were available. One is a training essentials, so that is literally everything you need to get your foot on the first rung of the ladder. So it will be everything, but not particularly a lot for you to then go out into the industry and start performing the treatment on customers. However, on the training assessment day and beyond, you'll be able to buy all the products that you need so that you can roll this out to your customers. How are we doing? Is this the end of it? I think that's the end of the presentation. I hope you've all found that really interesting. Perhaps there's some pictures. Amanda, do you have any
Yes, so thank you so much, Beverly and Faye. That was really interesting, and I think it's just such an exciting treatment. We've had quite a few questions come through from people who have been listening, so it would be great if you could answer. The first one comes from Sherry, and she asks, how long does the treatment last?
The treatment lasts, Faye, do you want to answer that? I'm quite happy to.
Yeah, so it lasts around 6 to 8 weeks, in line with your natural growth cycle. So sometimes it might be different, dependent on the person's own hair type, but we're seeing longevity of around 6 weeks on standard for it. So it's a good treatment really. There's no maintenance with it either. So they would just come back and have the treatment done again every 6 to 8 weeks.
So from a salon owner, what we see is people having their eyebrows tidied every 2 to 3 weeks and slotting in a lamination treatment either every other visit or 1 in 3. So so it's really good because once you've done the treatment, you don't lose your client for that 6 to 8 weeks. She still needs to have the stray hairs tidied, and obviously tint fades. Even the QIC doesn't last 8 weeks, and so come in and have the colour touched up, but you wouldn't have the lamination redone. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah. And we've got another question from Holly. She said, hello, I'm finding in some cases that the hairs become frizzy after a week or two. I use Brow Bomb and use the timings it suggests, use the conditioner and give the proper aftercare advice. What can I do?
Well, very difficult for me to comment on different brands. We obviously have tried and tested lots of different chemicals at the very beginning of this process, and found one that in my experience hasn't given rise to any kind of retexturizing of the hair. It's very important that the customer's hair quality and their hair type is identified, because that will govern the amount of time that you leave the product on. But you are chemically restructuring and realigning the hair, so it will feel different, but it shouldn't feel frizzy.
And
maybe a conditioner afterwards.
Yeah.
A really good serum afterwards.
Arlene has asked, does the treatment make the hairs feel stiff?
No, it doesn't. I think, as I've just said, when you chemically treat a hair, be it tinting or lamination, you are always going to feel a slightly different texture, but that shouldn't be stiff. It could be after the treatment. Some serums set a bit like a gel. And so that might have a feeling that they are feeling a little bit stiffer, but that would be temporary, because that would be something that's applied topically. And of course, once you cleanse your brow area, then you're back to being soft.
And Eleanor has asked, how would you approach a brow lamination treatment on someone with sparse brows?
Do you want to cover that, Faye?
Yeah, sure. I think with sparse brows, we can use the treatment to help conceal gaps. So when you're stretching and aligning the hair into the new position that you want it to be in, if you try to comb it into the shape that you want at the end, to sort of thicken the brows out, once you've fully done the treatment, you would just need to comb them into that position at the end. So it's quite nice to obviously realign the hair so that it does stay in that same shape for 6 to 8 weeks. But it also can help for like corrective work where you're sort of concealing over sparse areas or gaps. And it will make sparse hair look thicker and fuller.
Yeah. Also, it's you haven't got a magic wand. If there's no hair there, then you can't make hair. So there are then opportunities to tint, but also to upsell brow products that will either fix those, like the previous lady was saying about do the hairs feel stiff? The answer is no, unless you put a brow gel or something on. But in this case, maybe a brow gel will help just position those hairs in across that gap and keep them in place for the rest of the day.
And we've got a beauty lecturer watching at the moment from East Riding College, and she's asked whether you offer training in FE colleges.
Absolutely, we do. Faye runs the whole program for colleges and FE colleges. So yeah, Faye, could you briefly touch on what we do?
Yeah, so we can obviously attend the training at the college for you to complete the training, and we also offer a train the trainer program too. So we can obviously touch base on details further of that with each individual college, dependent on what their needs are. But the training would be with a kit included, so the trainees would get that on their training day. and they're able to complete the treatment straight after if they wanted to, once they've done the training.
I think employability is a big thing, and especially as we sort of come out of this economic situation. And so, like, to offer these kind of extra snippets courses for your students is a great plus for them. So there's a lot of salons out there that are probably not quite as up to speed with like the things that are coming on trend so quickly. So a new member of staff that can bring in, you know, a youngster who can actually do a treatment that none of the other therapists can do is a real plus when you're trying to choose a new recruit for your business.
Definitely.
Definitely. I mean, I know I do it myself.
Yeah. And also, we've got someone called Ellen who's asked how long the treatment actually takes to do in salon.
Right, in salon it takes, we book out 45 minutes because you have to leave the products on for anything between 12 and 15 minutes, and there's 2 lots of sessions of that. So it's very similar to a lash lift, where you have a period of time where you don't you have to let the product start to work. As a salon owner, we quite often use that opportunity to do some other things. People quite often want other facial waxing or waxing in general, or they might want their nails painted or their toenails painted. So we do try and sort of fill in those gaps with in those sort of 12 and 15 minute slots. But I would say because the QIC tint grips the hair and the colour so quickly, you don't have to really factor in an awful lot of time for that. So 45 minutes is more than adequate.
And we've had another user ask whether the timings for the treatment vary depending on the client's hair type.
You all right with that one, Faye?
Yes, they definitely do. So part of your consultation process with the client is to assess the hair individually, to make sure that you are going to put the products on for the right time. So we have timing guidelines between 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the hair texture and type that you're working with. So it is important to get that as accurate as possible, to get the best results from the treatment.
Yeah, and actually during the training we do address the kind of situations like I showed at the beginning with that customer that had sort of 80% soft hair but some extremely firm wiry ones. Of course you have to you're then presented with sort of different hair types within one brow. So we do address that on the training, and the best way to get the perfect results without under processing the thicker ones and over processing the finer ones. But we do address all of that.
And we've had a few people ask how much the training kits are and how much the professional kits are, and also how much you charge for the training.
Okay, so we have a training essentials kit and training which is $199 including VAT. And we have a starter kit which has enough products for I think off the top of my head I think that's 30 or 40 treatments, and that is $350 including VAT.
Brilliant. And
I think on the website we've got some offers as well, so definitely.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
we'll push people over there. And I think the last question that we've got time for in this session is, are there any contraindications with this treatment?
Well, you would go through a normal consultation process that you would do for any beauty treatment. The products are not known irritants, so there's absolutely no reason why you should have any kind of reaction. But you would go through a normal consultation similar to one that you would do for a lash lift. And once you're happy, we do protect the skin around the brows to make sure chemicals don't go on it. But it's a relatively safe, it's a safe treatment to do for sure. And what was the other question? The last bit? Just how much do you charge?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, you can charge, however your own price structure works out. But it ranges somewhere between £35 and £55, and that would be for a full treatment. That would be for a lamination, including a tint and a tidy. So you can either bulk it together as a treatment, or you can have it as 3 separate treatments: a tint, a lamination, and a tidy, and have a configuration of whatever the customer wants. Not everybody wants them tidied, not everybody wants them tinted, but that's the basic rule of thumb. Cost of products is very low, as you would expect. So what you're charging for is your time, and that's something that you would probably have already got sorted out in your own business.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Beverly and Faye, so much for taking the time out to do this webinar today. We really appreciate it. As part of Professional Beauty's Virtual Beauty Week, Lash Perfect are actually running a competition with us today, which you can find all the details for on our Instagram page. Basically, you can win a place on a highbrow lamination remote training course with full professional kit. So make sure you check that out. It's a brilliant competition. And once again, Beverly and Faye, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.